my part of it.
Of course. That's understandable. Like, I know if I were to do this, I would probably be the same way. Like, I would think the same thing. I've seen some of the duets that have been done. And whenever I would go through that hashtag or even the sound, and my friend, she would sometimes do those acting challenges too. And I would just look at it and look at like how amazing they're bringing it to life, like you mentioned. And I'm just like, this works perfectly. Like, it flows so well and everything, and how much effort other people put into it too. And it's something fun. That's how I see it. But like, I know for me, it would be something that I would probably not really go into just because not an actor.
It's not for everyone. I mean, it's scary. It is. I mean, it breaks my heart to see people making new accounts to do those because they're scared of their friends seeing them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that's sad. I get it. It's scary. It is. I mean, that's how artists in general live. We have, you constantly have to put yourself out there and be uncomfortable and face criticism and bare your soul essentially for the world to laugh at if they want. But you can't do it from a place of fear. And my one recommendation for anyone posting anything is that if you want to do it, do it. Like, you're going to get hate regardless. That's just unfortunately how it is. Like, I'd never been made fun of for, my cheekbones or my jawline until TikTok. And I was like,
are you serious?
They'll make fun of you for anything. Literally anonymous accounts with no content. They literally just are trolled. And that's how it works. And it's okay. I mean, because I'm all right with it. I'm relatively comfortable with how I look. And, I'm very confident in my ability to act. So when people troll me, I encourage them to go deeper. Find something that'll actually hurt. But hey, or I make response videos and make funny content out of it.
What goes through your mind when you go on your page and you see over 2 million followers?
I don't know if I've actually processed it at all, to be honest. I try not to get caught up in followers and in all that, because when you do, it ruins everything. All of a sudden, you're so concerned with, the only numbers I'm concerned about are views. I want people to see what I make. Mm-hmm. Like, it's great that 2.3 million people decided to support me, and I cannot express how much that means to me. Truly, they've re-given me purpose. They've given me support. It's amazing. But the moment that I get caught up in the follower number, I feel like I'm going to regret it. So honestly, most of the time I have a Discord with like some of my OG crazy fans. They started it. I call them a cult. And it's slowly growing. But those guys are the ones that usually remind me or tell me, they're like, oh my God, you hit this milestone. You hit that milestone. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Like, I'm just focused on making the content and like putting it out there. That being said, I probably should, for my own mental health, process it at some point. I mean, it's insane. It's cool. It's potentially life-changing whenever this COVID stuff goes away, hopefully soon.
We're already close to 2021, so hopefully soon enough.
I mean, there's so many problems, but it's worse than it's ever been right now. So that's why I can't think that far ahead. I mean, my end goal obviously is acting now, and that's kind of what TikTok is for me. It's a means to an end. It's a way for me to express myself and have fun and tell stories. So I guess my purpose for that going forward is to have, this fan base, garner this support, and be able to leverage that into other acting, roles that perhaps maybe without that, they wouldn't look at me for, because I don't have that many credits in the industry. I'm relatively unknown. At the peak of my stride, I got injured and taken out of the industry, essentially. So I'm eager to get back in, and I'm fueled by revenge and proving people wrong. I'm very excited for that day to come.
I will tell you this for sure, that once you do hit the big screens, I will be there to watch your movies or even your TV shows. I do love your content. I'm being serious.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What would you tell your younger self today? So
run the red light. I'm kidding. Well, half kidding. I would tell him to buckle up, not literally, because it's going to be really hard. Not just the industry aspect, but what you're going to have to deal with. But on the other side of that is the dream. So don't give up.
You've got many characters that you've created. Can you please tell me more about your favorite ones?
I have so many different characters. From the dawn of my TikTok, I did a whole demon series with featuring a mad king. I did, a betrayed detective series. I did, not detective. I did a special agent spy series. I did, I've done a bunch of things like related to The Outsiders. I mean, I've done Joker content. I've done, oh my goodness, so many. I mean, of the recent characters, relatively recently, I started, a satire, which is a risky thing to do these days because people don't understand satire of, gender roles. Mm-hmm. And I reversed them as they were in, the early mid 1900s. So the man is the one at home cooking, cleaning, and the wife is the abusive, misogynistic, whatever. And it's funny, but it's a social commentary. You know, it's nuanced, and it's talking about how this actually happened, and it's making fun of the fact that people used to think that was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So those characters are fun to play, and people seem to enjoy it if they understand it. And then I recently got an anonymous donor gave me a bunch of tiny hands. Yeah, you know, I don't know if you follow Call Me Chris.
I do. I have an interview scheduled with her too next week.
Oh my God. She's a gem. I love her. She's amazing. She's also just the nicest person ever. But yeah, someone sent me a bunch of tiny hands, and I was like, they didn't even give me a name, no return address, no note, no nothing, just a bunch of tiny hands. And I was like, okay. I guess I'll just make content. So the last 3 days I've made videos of or 2 days with a new character, which is like my hypothetical nephew in the future, how I imagine it would go if I had to babysit him. So that's been fun. So it's much in the vein of Call Me Chris. That's a new fun character. I've got a few more coming up that I'm going to do. One of which is called Gen Z Lawyer. And that one, look out for that one. That one's going to be interesting.
I'm already excited.
And then, I personally, I'm a very dark and brooding individual, usually. I like dark and twisted things. I love playing the bad guy. I love playing complex bad guys. And I adore the challenge of making an audience empathize with the bad guy. It's one of my favorite things to do on screen. So all of those characters are near and dear to my heart, whether that be disassociating or fighting with multiple personalities or, attempting to murder your girlfriend out of love or anything like that. Those characters are fun to play, but also people have tried to cancel me over any bad character. People try to cancel me over everything, or they used to. And it got to the point where I was like, just keep the same energy. All right. Like, you can't binge You on Netflix and then come in here and tell me that my PG-13 POV of a crazy ex-boyfriend is romanticizing, anything. I'm an actor. Like, you can't just tell me what I can and can't perform on an app that is designed to, for creative expression. But that's the issue with a lot of the things I've noticed, especially among the younger demographic on this app. One, the entitlement. They feel entitled to whatever they want to say, which is fine. And you're allowed to voice your opinion. It's encouraged. However, when you start voicing your opinion as fact or think you have some kind of right to be on my page in general, I have a rude awakening for you. Because if you decide to leave hate, especially excessive hate, or insert intentions into my content, be like, you did this because of that. You did this for this reason. You're doing this. It's like, no, that's not what this is. Then I will get a little upset and I might just block you forever. I'm one of those weird creators who actually just doesn't put on that show for people. If you've ever been to one of my live streams, if you're rude, I will just call you out on it.
I like that. I mean, it's better to be blunt and honest, straight up, than sugarcoat anything too.
Yeah. And the other thing is they don't think that, their comments will be seen. So they'll write something rude. And then, when I see it pop up in my notifications every now and then, I'll respond to it and be like, oh, sorry you feel that way. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't think you'd see this. I'm like, that doesn't change anything.
Exactly.
Don't be rude.
Okay. Going to comments. What is the weirdest comment you've gotten?
Oh my God.
Let's do one from today.
Today was, can you please do a video of the arches of your feet? That was a weird one.
And if any of our listeners want to follow you, where can they find you?
The Chris Barnett on TikTok and Instagram. And then Chris Barnett on YouTube. And content is coming soon, I swear. I promise you.
Okay, awesome.
Once I get to it.
Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me and for reaching out. It's so cool. I appreciate it.
All right, that's all the time we have for today. If you want to check out Chris's content, you can find him on his social media accounts at The Chris Barnett on TikTok and Instagram, and Chris Barnett on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast as we continue to have some amazing guests on the show and talk all things pop. Also, if you haven't yet, check out the bio to follow PopTok with Farah on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you for listening. Take care and stay safe.